long past the age of what he was. The long ship's gone, the hall's become the church. The gods replaced by the new crosses cause. The old ways left to birch and pine and birch. He sat and watched the children learn to pray to a God who promised the meek the earth. While he had been taught, take the light of day. For those who wait for gifts are given death. The last Viking watches the world he knew become the world he never thought was true. He did not rage against the changing tide. He lived too long to think that rage was worth the energy of those who have not tried to simply watch and let the world give birth. He kept his own prayers private and intact. He spoke the names of the old gods at dusk. He kept the old ways in the daily act of living what he was beneath the husk. The last Viking prays privately at dusk. The old gods living underneath the husk. The children who sat near him sensed the weight of something older than the newest faith. They felt inside his presence something great that the new prayers had not yet given grace. He told them nothing of the old beliefs. He only told them stories of the sea, the expeditions and the autumn reefs, the world as he had sailed it, wide and free. The last Viking passes the old world on in stories that outlast the gods now gone. When he died, they buried him in the old way. The children who had listened did the right. They found the form from what he used to say, and honored him before the morning light. They placed his knife and a piece of amber in the grave that held the last of what had been, a way of life that started in the thin line between the ocean and the green. The last Viking's grave holds the old world's end, and the old ways the children chose to tend. But the stories that he told did not go down into the earth with what the body held. They traveled through the village and the town, and to every child who'd heard him spell. The last Viking is never truly last, for what he was lives in the telling still. The spirit of the North survives the past in every heart that feels the ocean's will. The last Viking is the one who tells the tale, and the tale lives past every final sail. She stepped between the blades before they crossed, the two men at the threshold of the kill. Her body in the space where each had tossed all reason for the narrowing of the will. The blade caught her across the forearm skin, the cut not deep enough to end the work, but enough to show what's standing in between. The living and the dead requires lurk. The peacemaker's scar is the price of the space. The wound earned standing in between the blades. The two men stopped when they saw what they'd done. The blood was not the enemy's but hers. The woman who had stepped into the gun of their own fury and its murderous spurs. The shock was what the words had never done, the physics of the consequence gone real. The understanding that the blood had spun the abstract into something they could feel. The peacemaker's blood stops what words cannot. The physical reality of the spot. She wore the scar without a shred of shame. She called it the most useful thing she bore. She showed it to the children and the claim was, this is what preventing costs and more. Peace has a price as surely as the war. It is paid in different currency than steel. In the body placed between the drawing for of blades and the willingness to feel. The peacemaker's scar teaches what war hides. That safety is not free but someone provides. Ooh. The village needed her in 100 ways that had no glory and no saga's claim. The dispute settled in the unremarked days, the violence that never got its fame. For what she stopped from happening had no name, no body count, no ruin, no sad tale. The village kept its structure and its same old shape, because the sword was kept in veil. The peacemaker's work leaves nothing to describe, the peace that never broke the unbroken tribe. Give the peacemakers their proper verse, the ones who step into the killing space, who make the violence no longer worse by putting flesh between the blade and face. They earn their scars as surely as the fighters, their wounds as real as any battle's cost. as fewer battle lighters, because they paid the price of what was lost. The peacemaker's scar, his glory made in skin, the mark of having stood where peace begins. Flew against the sailing line. The old one said, turn back this voyage round. The helmsman said, no raven is a sign of anything but appetite and song. He sailed despite the signs that stacked against the auguries of the shaman and the stone. The dreams the night before that had condensed into a warning none could leave alone. The cursed voyage begins with the ignored sign, the warning that the helmsman crossed the line. 3 days out, the first strange thing occurred. The compass stone stopped pointing to the north. It spun confused as if the magnets blurred their ancient orientation forth. The helmsman laughed and said, a faulty stone. Navigated by the stars instead. But clouds came in and he was left alone, with nothing but the feeling and the dread. The cursed voyage loses its direction. The signs accumulate without correction. The second week a sickness took the crew. Not fatal, but enough to slow the oar. The stores they'd packed were somehow less than new. The water slightly off from shore to shore. The helmsman held his course through every doubt. He said to turn back now is worse than on. The signs are past, the worst is washing out. The destination is not far and gone. The cursed voyage continues past the signs. The pride that drives past every warning's lines. They reach the shore they'd aimed for after more than twice the usual sailing time had gone. The trading post was burned and bare and poor of everything that they had counted on. They turned back empty-handed to the north, the voyager lost in every measure known. The helmsman never acknowledged worth of the warnings he had chosen to have blown. The cursed voyage proves what the signs foretold. The stubborn captain's story to be told. Listen to the ravens when they cross the bow. The shaman's dream is not always wrong. The stone that spins uncertain, and the howl of the strange and the uneasy strong. Not every sign means turn and not go forth, but every sign deserves a moment's pause. The wisdom to assess its exact worth before you sail past all the warnings cause. The cursed voyage is cured by one thing alone. The helmsman wise enough to have postponed. He worked the ice in the deep midwinter cold, when the temperature was right for clarity. The crystal perfect at 40 winters old, for carving what he saw with brevity. He used a blade of iron and his hands, the warmth of his own palms melting what was wrong, refreezing the correction as it stands, revised until the form was right and strong. The ice sculptor works with what will melt. The art is in the doing and what's felt. He made a raven every solstice night to greet the returning sun at the dawn. The iceberg glittering in the first pale light, before the warmth had come to it adorn. By noon the raven had begun to drip. By evening it had lost its form and name. By night a pool of water in the grip of what the day had taken back in claim. The ice raven lives one day and then returns to the water from which winter learning burns. The village children gathered every year to watch the ice raven greet the solstice sun, to see it at its finest, crystal clear, before the melting had already begun. They understood without being told the truth, that beauty does not need to last to matter, that the raven in its brief and perfect youth was worth more than the permanent and flatter. The ice sculpture teaches impermanence, that brief perfection has its own immense. He never kept a single piece he made. He let each one dissolve into the ground. He said the keeping was the sculptor's trade, but the releasing was the deeper found. Some artists carve in stone to last the age, Some paint on hide that centuries might keep. He chose the ice because his own life's page was written in the impermanence of sleep. The ice sculptor chooses what returns, the art that melts back into what it earns. Make your art in ice sometimes instead. The thing you do not keep but let dissolve, the gesture given freely without dread of whether it will last or will resolve. The song sung once, the meal made for the night, the kindness done without a witness near, the laugh that filled a room with sudden light and then was gone. Our art as much as clear. The ice sculptor shows the truth of every act. The doing is the art, not what is stacked. She found the web each morning in the frost, the spider's architecture silver bright, a perfect structure almost but not lost to the weight of the water and the night. Each thread connected to the next with care, the radial spokes and the concentric rings, the whole thing trembling in the autumn air, like a map of everything that clings. The spider's web is the world's own design, the pattern underneath all existence's line. The shaman saw the web in everything, the connections between the separate things, the way a stone thrown in the pond would ring, its ripples out to touch all other springs. No action in the world existed free of consequence that traveled through the net. Every deed was felt by the community of living things in ways none had met. The spider's web says nothing stands alone. Each thread connects to every other known. The woman who repaired the fishing nets saw in her work the spider's ancient art, the same geometry that the web begets was in the net that held the ocean's heart. She worked with the same patience as the spider, each knot a node inside the larger whole. The net that caught the silver was no wider than the attention given to each hole. The net maker and spider share one heart, the patient geometry of every part. obligation ran the village. The invisible threads between each kin, the debt of help that crossed each family's tillage, the favors owed and given from within. No one tracked the web explicitly in words, but everyone could feel each thread they held, the social fabric woven without swords, the web that kept the whole from being felt. The social web is the village's true strength, the obligation threads of any length. When you break a thread inside the web, you do not only damage what is near. The vibration travels through the air, and tension changes everywhere from here. Be careful what you cut inside the net, for webs are strong but also easily torn. The spider can repair what weather's wet, but cannot mend what careless hands have worn. The spider's web is stronger than the sword, but both depend on how each thread is stored. Before the first recorded raid in the south, before the monks looked up from their cold prayers, the long ships had been filling every mouth of northern fjord with the sea's own dares. The first raiders were not the fearsome myth, they were hungry men from hungry land, who'd learned the sea and took the seaborne gift of ships fast enough to meet the demand. The first raid was born of hunger, not hate, the desperate math of the northern state. The southern shores had wealth beyond the telling, the monasteries fat with years of gold, the trading towns, their silver always swelling with what the continent had bought and sold. The contrast between the thin, cold north and the rich, warm south was stark as stone, and those who'd master the sea's own force could cross the water and not go home alone. The raider sees what comfort keeps hidden, the plenty that the fearless are not bidden. The first monks who survived the earliest coming describe the tall men from the sea with dread, the speed of the attack and the becoming of chaos in the hours before it fled. But others describe the same men trading in the same season on the same coast dock. The raider and the merchant were parading in the same ship and the same man's stock. The Viking was both raider and the trader. The context chose which face came with the invader. They left behind more than they took away. The genes of the North now run in Southern blood. The words the Norse brought stayed in the languages say long after the ships had left the mud. The Normans who would conquer England's shore were grandchildren of those first Viking men who'd settled France and taken something more than gold. They'd taken root and grown again. The first raiders planted what they took. Their children in the soil became the book. Judge not the first raiders by the fear of those who wrote in the age of their coming, but by what grew from the seas, left clear in the centuries of their eventual summing. The raider who became the settler's son, who farmed and built and married and stayed on, who found in the South the warmth that none in the hard North had kept or held upon. The first raider was seeking what we seek, a better life for those who are most weak. He built a palace in his mind at 9, a hall with 10,000 named and numbered rooms. Each room a storage space for the design of knowledge laid inside the memory's tombs. He placed the names of kings in the great hall, the genealogies in the long left wing, the battle dates along the outer wall, the poems in the rooms where the light would sing. The memory palace holds what books cannot, the living map of everything forgot. He walked the palace every morning through, checking each room's contents remained clear. The dusty corners he would tend anew, the items catalogued from year to year. A name half lost he'd find by backtracking, the route he'd taken when he placed it in, the object he'd imagined stacking against the wall where memories begin. The skald maintains his palace every day, or what he stored will slowly fade away. The palace grew with everything he learned. New wings were added as the knowledge came, the basement for the deepest things he earned, the attic for the oldest and the flame. He said the palace had its own opinions. Some rooms would not hold what he tried to place. Some knowledge had its own familiar dominions and insisted on a different space. The memory palace has its own design. The knowledge itself knows where it should align. When he stood before the Jarl's great feast to sing the lineage of the family back, he walked the palace from the newest to the least, the oldest name found on the furthest track. The audience heard a voice that held entire the history of their blood from first to now, that flowed without a pause or without fire of hesitation, only the endless flow. The memory palace speaks through the skull's voice. The stored world given once again its choice. Build your own palace in the mind's estate before the knowledge you have learned grows dim. Give every precious thing a room and gate, and visit every room on the morning's whim. The mind is larger than the body needs. Its rooms are infinite if properly maintained. The knowledge that you plant inside it seeds a harvest that through every age is gained. The memory palace is the mind made home, the place where all you've learned need never roam. Before the sundial and the candle's hour, before the bell that rang the quarter day, the fisher folk had found the water's power to mark the time in its own ancient way. High tide and low tide, 12 hours between, the cycle of the moon's pull on the sea, a clock more ancient than any machine, set by the cosmos for eternity. The tide clock runs on water, not on sand, the oldest timepiece made without a hand. She knew the tide's arrival to the half hour without the instruments of later age. She felt it in her joints before the power of the water climbed the harbor stage. Her body was the tide clock she had built. Through 40 years of standing at the shore, the lunar pull had calibrated guilt. Her bones to know the tide before the more. The tide-wise body knows before the eye. The water's pull felt in the joint and high. The night raids timed themselves to the low water. could be crossed on foot. When the harbor entrance was made shorter by what the ebbing tide had undercut, the raiders who arrived at the wrong hour found deep water where they planned to wade. The tidal knowledge was the tactical power that turned the assault into ambuscade. The tide clock sets the battle's time. The warrior who reads it turns to prime. The festivals were timed to the great tide, the highest water of the year's full moon. When Ransned reached the farthest and the wide, when the sea was nearest to the boom, we gathered at the shore when the flood peaked and poured the offering into the maximum. The gift given when the power was streaked with the highest of the moon's own sum. The tide clock sets the ritual's right hour, when the cosmic and the human share their power. Listen to the tide inside your life, the rhythm that is not the sun's but yours, the highs and lows of energy and strife, the cosmic cycle running through your shores. You have your own tidal hours of strength and your own low water hours of rest, your own full moon of power and the length of your own neap when you are not at best. The tide clock in your body never lies. Trust its water over the sun's disguise.
They found the pup beside its dead pack mother, 3 days old and barely still alive. She took it in alongside her own other 3 children, and she helped them all survive. The wolf pup nursed beside the infant human, 2 creatures of the world's 2 different kinds, sharing what the milk and warmth were doing, the primal nourishment that binds. The wolf mother nurses without distinction, the living need is stronger than extinction. Mother nurses without distinction, the living need that's what the children grew, was hunting by the summer's second moon. But always came back to the house at noon, and slept beside the hearth each afternoon. The village watched the wolf with uncertainty, half tame and half wild in the same gray skin. The wolf that lived inside the community was something that had never quite been seen. Oh, the wolf raised human walks to worlds inside, the wild and tame in permanent divide. Oh, the wolf raised human walks to worlds inside, the wild and tame in permanent divide. The children who had grown up beside it were different from the others in the land. Oh, they moved with something in them that would sit outside the ordinary human band. Oh, they understood the forest in their bones. They read the animal behavior clear. They knew the wolf's own language in the tone of howling posture, tail, and angled ear. Oh, the wolf's sibling children speak two-tone, the human and the animal's old lung. Oh, the wolf's sibling children speak two-tone, the human and the animal's old lung. When the wolf died of age in the 15th year, the children mourned as deeply as for kin. Oh, they held the burial with the same sincere and ancient ritual of one within. Oh, they did not call it animal or beast. They called it by its name and spoke its deeds. Oh, the hunts, the warnings, the village least of moments, and the most of what it feeds. Oh, the wolf gets the burial of the kin, for what is family but love lived in? Oh, the wolf gets the burial of the kin, for what is family but love lived in? Oh, the wolf mother taught this to her blood, that kinship is not limited by birth. Oh, that love can root itself in any mud and grow toward anything of worth. Oh, the family that chooses to be wise, that opens its belonging past the clan. Oh, that makes its hearth and fire open-eyed, is the truest family in the plan. Oh, the wolf mother's lesson is simple and clear. Belonging is made, not born, year by year.
faint thread of the Norns below, but something warmer in the winter room, the thread of love that makes connection grow. She weaves between the people of the world, the golden strand that draws the close ones near, the warmth between the hearts that gets unfurled when something in the chest makes itself clear. Freya's thread is gold because love is light. It shines the longest through the darkest night. In the first glance recognized before the words had made themselves to speak, before the mind had fully analyzed what the heart already felt complete. Freya had placed the thread between the two, the golden strand already taut and bright. Each one could feel it pulling toward the new awareness of the other in the light. Freya's thread is felt before it's known the pull of love, before the love has grown. Not only the love between the man and wife, but the thread between the warrior brothers too, the gold that runs through all of human life, the bond between the old and the brand new, the mother and the child, the Jarl and Thane, the teacher and the student long to meet, the friend across the years of grief and gain, all held together by the golden heat. Freya's thread connects all those who care, the gold that runs through every heart laid bare. She cuts the thread when love has served its time, not cruelly but with the knowledge of the time, that some connections are a particular rhyme of season, not the whole of life inside. The cut thread does not mean the love was wrong, it means the love was perfect for its time, complete within itself, the finished song, the verse that needed nothing past its rhyme. Freya cuts with love, not punishment. The ended thread was always what was meant. Follow the golden thread wherever leads, the warmth inside the chest that pulls you near, the recognition that the heart first reads before the cautious mind can interfere. Freya has already measured what you need, has laid the thread before you in the gold. The only question is whether you will heed the warmth before the winter leaves you cold. Freya's golden thread is always there. The question is, who has the heart to wear? the darkening pine. The elk were moving as the days grew cold. Along the ancient routes they always sang. We gathered at the crossing before dawn. The village hunters in their autumn robes, the dogs already working on the lawn of morning frost with their instinctive souls. The autumn hunt is the last feast beginning, the gathering before the winter's thinning. The children who were old enough came to, not to shoot but to see and understand the ceremony of the taking through, the ancient ritual of the hunter's hand. They saw the thanksgiving before the blade, the recognition of the animal's gift, the way the hunters promised to the dead was that no part would waste or be adrift. The children learned the covenant of the hunt, the sacred taking and the giving blunt. Old Nut could track through frost so thin it barely showed the outline of the hoof. He read the ground the way the runes begin, each mark a letter in the animal's proof. He showed us where the elk had stopped to listen, the turned earth where the leg had shifted weight, the broken twig where something made to glisten had caught the ear and held it hesitate. The tracker reads what passed without a word, the story in the ground more true than heard. The kill was swift and solemn in the field. The hunter's thanks was more than just a phrase. The moment stretched beyond the everyday, where predator and prey shared the same haze. Something passed between them in that space, the ancient recognition of the chain that joins the hunter to the hunted face in the oldest human covenant of game. The hunt is the most honest human act, the life taking clearly and intact. The meat would feed the village through the dark, the hide would warm the child that needed most, the bone would serve the carver's patient mark, the sinew hold the arrow to the post. Nothing of the autumn's giving died, for waste is the only true dishonor done. The animal that gave itself inside, the hunt deserves the use of sound completes the animal's life by making every part of worth through strife.
Someone must stand between the dark and whole, must hold the cold and walk the outer edge, when every other warrior has the fall of sleep's own absolute and heavy pledge. He volunteered for it before the lot was drawn, said he had always liked the dark. The hours when the world is what it's got, without the noise of day to hide its mark. The night watch stands where no one wants to stand, between the sleeping world and what is planned. He learned the sounds of the normal night, the owl that called from the same branch each hour, the stream that changed its pitch with the moonlight, the way the wind moved through the birch tree's tower. By knowing all of this, he knew the wrong, the sound that did not fit the night's own tune, the silence where there should have been the song, the shape that passed against the fading moon. The night watch learns the normal to find the threat. The silence in the song is the warning set. 3 times he stopped the raid before the dawn. 3 times the village woke to no alarm. Only the news at breakfast safely borne that danger had been turned aside from harm. The village never saw what he had faced, the shadow at the forest edge that turned back when it saw his fire carefully placed, and felt the watchfulness that he had earned. The night watch wins the battles no one sees. The enemy who never enters freeze. He slept when others woke and watched when they were dreaming in the safety of his gift. His life inverted from the ordinary day. His darkness was the other's waking shift. Some said his eyes had changed from years of dark, that they held something of the night inside, a depth that comes from keeping the bright spark of fire vigil through the turning tide. The night watch carries night inside his eyes. The dark made intimate through all the skies. Honor
those who watch while others rest, the night vigil of the long and thankless hours, the ones who choose the cold against their chest when they could have the fire's offered powers. The safety that you sleep in is the gift of someone standing in the dark outside, whose wakefulness provides the needed lift of your unconsciousness and trusting tide. The night watch is the gift no song has made, the safety earned by those who are not afraid.
Still runs. It has not stopped because the surface froze. It carries what the autumn always owns, the water's patient journey as it flows. You hear it if you press your ear to ice, a muffled rushing deep below the white, the river paying movement's constant price, through darkness and the absence of the light. The frozen river runs below the sea, the motion underneath the winter screen. The salmon held inside the deeper pools below the freeze where currents slow to still. They waded through the months of winter rules for the upstream call of spring's own will, suspended in the cold between two seasons, between the upstream run and autumn's rest. They held themselves for all the deepest reasons, the patience of the creature at its best. The salmon waits beneath the winter ice for spring to open what the cold made twice. The beaver in its lodge of mud and stick had stored enough to last the longest freeze. It surfaced through the underwater thick and breathed the small trapped air with patient ease. Its world was the diameter of Lodge, a circle barely wider than a man. Yet it endured without the smallest dodge of restlessness, the winter's smallest clan. The beaver teaches stillness in the frozen, the art of the sufficient and the chosen. We learned from the frozen river this deep truth, that motion does not always need a show, that underneath the stillness lives the proof of everything that must continues flow. The grief that looks like ice upon the face still moves below where no one else can see. The
the warrior's stillness before the charging space holds the running current of the free. The frozen surface hides the moving soul. The river's truth runs deeper than the whole. When your own surface freezes in the cold, when what was moving seems to have gone still, remember what the winter rivers hold, the flow beneath the freeze that moves at will. You have not stopped because the frost has come. You have only gone below the scene. The current of your living is not numb, but flowing through the dark between. The frozen river promises the spring by running underneath through everything. He came to every enemy's great hall, unarmed and unafraid and bearing gifts. He spoke before the gathered at the call of hospitality's most ancient gifts. The words he chose were measured as the gold he weighed before a trade, each syllable a calculated placing of the bold and gentle in the diplomatic syllable. The silver tongue wins what the sword would lose, for iron closes doors that words can choose. He studied every jaw before he came, the youngest son, the grief that lived inside, the daughter's marriage and the boundary claim, the ancient slight that would not let pride slide. He spoke to what the jaw most needed heard, not flattery but recognition clear, the acknowledgement that underneath the word of every enemy was something dear. The silver tongue finds the need beneath the war and offers what the enemy is asking for. He made in 7 years that held for 20 after he was gone. He traded on the currency of fears that both sides shared, but neither had yet shown. The fear of the neighbor to the east, the fear of the winter coming hard, the fear of being isolated least when crisis struck without a close regard. The silver tongue makes common ground from fear, the shared threat that makes enemies draw near. He failed once and the failure was complete. The Jarl who would not hear any voice, whose grief had turned to fury past the heat of reason, leaving war the only choice. He walked away from that one unregretting, for wisdom knows when words have reached their wall. When the talking door has finished setting and the iron must answer the iron's call. The The silver tongue knows when to stop the talk, when words have failed and only armies walk. More villages stood from his working tire than from the sword of any raiding man. More children lived beside the winter fire, because his words had altered the great plan. The skald who sang of battles never sang of what the diplomat had held at bay. The invisible victories never rang in verse, because prevention has no say. The silver tongue earns fame in no one's song, but keeps the living, living all life long. He carved the rune for strength upon his shield, not as a decoration or a sign, but as a living force he meant to wield. The symbol made reality divine. The elder rune master had taught him this: the rune is not a picture of the thing, the rune is the thing. Each carved a rhyme, a bliss of actual force that comes with the marking. The living rune is not a symbol's face, it is the thing itself held in its space. So he carved the rune for wisdom on the prow, not to invoke wisdom, but to be the vessel of it in the right here now. The ship itself becoming what runs free. He carved the rune for safe passage on the keel, below the waterline where no eye sees. A gift to the ocean for what is real, in the private prayer beneath the frieze. The hidden room does what the seen one can't. The gift for the sea's own eyes is the rant. The most powerful runes were never shown, they lived in places hidden from all view. Carved inside the threshold of the known, in spaces only the Maker knew. The rune above the door was for the guest, the rune inside the doorpost was the home, the rune beneath the foundation's breast was the house itself, the oldest dome. The hidden room guards what the seen one cannot, the private protection that display forgot. To learn the runes you had to first forget the letters that you'd used to write before. a writing alphabet, but forces carved to open living's door. The student who could only see the shape without the force had nothing but a mark. The one who felt the power through the drape, a symbol had the room's own living spark. The room master feels before he sees. The force beneath the form is what agrees. Carry your own room inside the chest, the symbol of the thing you most require. Not carved in wood or stone, but manifest in the way you hold yourself inside the fire. The living room is who you choose to be, the pattern that you carry in the wall, the force that radiates invisibly from the carved intention of your talk. The living room is not on wood, but you. The pattern carved into everything you do.
The Hive sat unmanned for 7 months. The Jarl was gone to raid the eastern coast. The village ran on its own countless fronts, without the one who'd always managed most. What happened was surprising to themselves. The village found it knew what it required. The decisions taken from the shelves of common sense that all the people shared. The empty throne reveals the village can lead itself without the single man. The disputes were settled at the morning well by those with the most experience of both. The arguments were heard and each could tell their side to those who carried no sworn oath. The decisions took a little longer through the absence of the one decisive word, but they were better for the different view of more than one perspective being heard. The empty throne invites the village voice and makes the community its own choice. When the Jarl returned with silver and with fame, he found a village slightly changed in shape. The people who had managed were the same, but something of dependence had found escape. They welcomed him with honor and with feast, but something in the way they met his eyes said, "We have been the Jarl and the priest.
east and found that we could do without the high. The returned Jarl finds his people changed. The empty throne has left them rearranged. He was wise enough to understand that what had grown in his absence was a gift. He did not try to take back every hand he'd held before the powers long drift. He kept the councils that had formed themselves. He listened where before he would have spoke. He took his wisdom from the living shells of those who'd led when leadership was broke. The wise Jarl learns from his own empty throne and governs better for what it has shown. Every structure needs to know it can survive without the ones who hold it now. For leaders come and go within the plan, and what endures is the community's vow. The empty throne is not a crisis state. It is the test of whether what you've built is strong enough to stand and generate its own direction without the Jarl's guilt. The empty throne is the structure's truest test, and those that pass it are the strongest blessed. Nothing was wasted in the winter hall. The bones the feast left were the carver's start. The marrow sucked, the broth made from the fall of every useful thing toward the art. He'd take the leg bone of the autumn elk and find within it what the elk had been. The speed, the rack, the smell of forest kelp, the way it moved between the trees unseen. The bone carver returns the animal to what the creature lives again inside his heart. Carve the needles that the weavers use, the smooth and narrow bone that silk would thread. He carved the combs the morning hare enthused with pulling through the tools of daily bread. These small useful carvings were his finest art, not the elaborate displays of skill, but the objects nearest to the human heart, the things that serve the daily life until the bone carver's finest work is useful. The art that serves the living is most truthful. For special pieces he would ask permission of the animal whose bone he held and shaped. He spoke to the remains with recognition of the living that from them had escaped. He thanked the elk for what it had provided. He promised that the carved thing would be used with the respect that living elk had glided through the forest. Nothing would be abused. The bone carver speaks to what he carves, the living spirit in the bone that starves. The most extraordinary piece he made was from the bone of his own father's hand, a needle smooth and honed beyond the trade of normal tools, the finest in the land. His mother used it for the finest work, the ceremonial cloth of high regard. She said the needle moved through silk and murk as if it still remembered what was hard. The father's bone becomes the mother's tool, the love between them in the carved school. Honor the bone carver's art in this, that everything that lives gives something back. The animal returns as a finished bliss of needle comb, and nothing goes to black. The cycle of the taking and the giving, the hunting and the crafting and the use, is how the northern peoples kept on living through the long winters of the world's abuse. The bone carver completes the animal's gift and keeps the creature living in the lift.
When darkness claimed the longest night of all, we answered with the brightest feast we had. We filled the hall from the smallest wall to the highest rafter, warm and glad. The food we'd set aside through autumn's press, the mead we'd brewed from the last summer's bloom, all opened at the darkness at its best, to say you cannot have the full of room. The midwinter feast defies the longest dark by filling the cold night with fire and spark. The elders sat in the highest honored place, the children at the lowest near the door. The warriors and the farmers showed the face of equal in the feast's own ancient lore. For one night in the year the ranks dissolved into the common hunger and the warmth. The jarl and the thrall together resolved to eat the darkness down and find the norm. The midwinter feast makes everyone the same. The darkness does not choose between the name. We sang the oldest songs that night by choice, the ones too long for ordinary evenings, the ones
and the fire's leavings. The skald would sing from dusk until the dawn, each verse a promise that the sun would come, each chorus driving back the midnight yawn of the dark that threatened to leave everyone numb. The midwinter skald sings against the dark, each verse a candle, each chorus a spark. The gifts exchanged that night were not of silver, or the traded goods of commerce and the deal, but made things, the carved and the weaved quiver, the knitted warmth, the crafted and the real. To give a thing you'd made was to give time, the hours of the dark months put to use. The personal was worth more than the prime currency of any market's produce. The midwinter gift is made, not bought. It gives the hours of dark that hands have wrought. When the last fire burned to gray at dawn, when even the most determined had found sleep, the silence of the hall was not forlorn, but satisfied and full and calm and deep. The darkness had been met and met with fire, the longest night being shortened by the feast. The solstice turned toward the new sun's desire, and the world beginning its return from east. The midwinter feast earns the returning sun by celebrating until the dark is done. She could hold her breath for 6 full minutes long, a gift she'd trained since childhood in the cold. Her lungs expanded past the usual strong, her heart slowed to a rate the shamans told was the rate of those between the worlds, the threshold pulse of those who step aside from ordinary time before it furls into the deep where other things reside. The deep swimmer breathes out the upper world and enters where the light has been unfurled. She dove for what no net could reach below, the pearls inside the oyster's deepest bed, the anchor lost where no diver would go, the message carved in stone among the dead. She descended past the layer where where the light became the gray of almost darkness, down past where the pressure held the body tight, into the silence under every sound. The deep swimmer goes where light becomes a guest, and finds what darkness keeps in its recess. A stillness that the surface never gave, a pressure that was not hostility, but the world expressing itself and brave. The fish that moved in the fathoms below were different in their movements from above, more deliberate and impossibly slow, as if the deep had taught them different love. The deep swimmer finds a different world, where time moves slow and everything is furled. She brought back more than pearls or lost anchors. She brought back something in her manner changed, as if the time below had found the answers to questions surface life had left estranged. Each dive returned her slightly more at peace, slightly more herself and less the noise of the upper world. Each dive's release left more of the essential and less the voice. The deep swimmer surfaces more herself, each dive removing something from the shelf. Dive into your own deep when you must, the place below the noise of ordinary, where the essential lives beyond the crust of what you've made yourself in commentary. The deep is not the darkness that it seems, it is the pressure of the true self kept below the surface of the daily dreams, waiting for the breath that lets it step. The deep swimmer finds what the surface hides, the self that in the silent water resides. He came to leadership too soon by far, his father taken by the third year's plague. At 17 he wore the iron scar of responsibility still vague. The older warriors watched him carefully, some with the patience of those who would teach, some with ambition of the scarcely free, who saw his youth as something within reach. The young child leads without the years that earn, and must be quick enough to live and learn. Made the first mistake the second week, a trade deal badly weighted in their favor. He smiled when he should have stood his peak, and nodded when he should have shown his say. trader had seen 50 years of young men sitting in the giant's great chair. He knew the look that hid the youth's own fears, and pressed the price until the boy sat bare. The young Jarl's first mistake cost silver clear, but buys the lesson that will last a year. He learned by asking more than by command. He found the village elders one by one. He pressed each hand and said, "Help me understand the things my father did before he's gone." They told him everything and more besides. The old woman who remembered the last flood, the graybeard who had crossed the mountain slides, and knew which family's dispute ran deep with blood. The young Jarl asks before he acts, and learns the village through its living facts. The first true crisis came at winter's end. Two families at the edge of open war, a boundary dispute that would not bend to any settlement that came before. He walked to both and sat inside their halls. He ate their bread and heard each story through. He found the third thing underneath the cause of grievance, what each one most needed knew. The young Jarl finds what neither side can see, the shared need underneath the enemy. 20 years on, he was the oldest Jarl who'd held the seat as long as anyone. The boy who'd worn the chain too loose, and knowledge from the weight had grown into the sun. He told the young men, "Come too soon is fine if you approach it as the school it is. The seat will teach you everything in time if you sit in it honestly as his own." The young Jarl becomes the old through sitting. The chair itself is the most fitting. She learned the craft from watching rivers first, how the trees fell and made the crossing clear, how the beaver built its dam through thirst, of engineering older than all fear. She drew her plans in the sand beside the bank. She calculated load and span and stress. The village watched and many thought her rank, with optimism past all reasonableness. The bridge builder sees the crossing before it exists. The span or already reel inside the mists. The first bridge lasted only one spring flood. The second made it through the second year. The third was standing in the autumn mud when her grandchildren crossed it without fear. Each failure was a lesson in the grain of what the water wanted and required. Each rebuilding in the following rain was shaped by what the flood had first desired. The bridge builder learns from every failure's flood and builds the strongest span from broken wood. The bridge she finally built would last 200 years of traffic, flood and weight. It held the horses and the carts amassed of every generation's daily freight. She built it low against the water's urge, with gaps between the planks for flood to pass. She let the river have its seasonal surge and built around the water's own brass. The lasting bridge is built around the flood, not against it in the stubborn mud. Did more than cross the water's face. It opened the eastern valley to the west. The families who had lived in separate space now met and traded and found interest. The marriages that followed in the years, the children born of east-west joining lines, the commerce that erased the ancient fears between the clans, all grew from her designs. The bridge builder makes the future she can't see. Her wood and stone make possibility free. Build your bridges when the river's low, before the flood arrives to test the span. Reach across when crossing seems to show too wide for any one pair of hands. A bridge between two people or two clans, between two arguments or two old ways, is worth the effort of the builder's plans. For what the bridge enables earns the praise. The bridge builder's gift outlasts her name. Each crossing keeps on honoring her claim. She carved her gods from what the sea sent back. The driftwood bleached and shaped by years of tide, each piece already halfway on the trek to being something more than wood inside. The ocean had begun the carving's art, had stripped the bark and softened every grain, had given each piece piece, its particular heart, a form that knife could find beneath the plane. The driftwood gods are made from what was lost. The wood returned from the ocean's salt and frost. She did not plan the god before the wood. She let the wood decide what it would be. She held each piece until she understood what the ocean had already set free. The grain that curved could only be the shoulder of something bending toward the coming storm. The hollow at the center of the boulder of driftwood was the eye that held the form. The driftwood carver listens before she cuts. The wood decides before the knife begins its ruts. The gods she made were different from the carved, straight-grained and planned and purposeful and clean. Her driftwood gods were twisted and had starved through years of ocean into something mean and beautiful at once. The knot and curl of wood that had endured and been renewed was more authentic in its gnarled swirl than any smooth carved certainty pursued. The driftwood god is shaped by what it's been. The history of suffering is seen. Sailors took her carvings on their ships. The small driftwood gods lashed to the prow. They said the ocean-born gods had the tips of knowledge that no landlocked carvings vow. The gods who'd been inside the sea itself, who'd spent their years inside the salt and wave, were wiser than the ones upon the shelf, who'd never known the depth or dark or grave. The driftwood god has crossed the sea already, its wisdom earned through waters rough and heady. When the driftwood finally rots to nothing, after years of being held and worn, the god returns to what was always something, the wood to earth, the form to the reborn. She did not grieve when gods dissolved to dust. She walked the shore and found the next piece bright. She said the ocean always gives what must be carved. I only have to find the right. The driftwood god is given, not made whole. The ocean is the carver of the soul. The stones were placed before our oldest gods, before the names of Odin, Thor, and Frey, before the runes and all the stories of us, someone understood the light's own way. They placed each stone with astronomical care. The sunrise of the solstice through the gate, the moonrise through the aligned pair, the shadow that would mark the ritual date. The stone circle is older than all gods. It speaks the language of the light's own nods. We found it in the forest, half consumed by centuries of birch and elder growth. The stone still standing, though the trees had loomed around them in their slow and patient growth. We cleared it out and stood inside the rain at midsummer, at the dawn's precise return, and felt the light pass through each standing thing, exactly as the builders meant to learn. The stone circle works after 1,000 years. The light still passes through its ancient spheres. Who built it? Not our people, not our kin. The builders gone before our oldest tale. They left no rune, no name carved deep within, only the knowledge of the light's bright trail. We honored them by using what they made, by standing where they'd stood at solstice dawn, by feeling what they'd felt without the trade of language, just the light and what was gone. The stone circle honors the nameless builders who gave the world its oldest calendar gills. The year is round like the stone circle's frame. It has no beginning and it has no end. The winter solstice and the summer flame are points upon the circle's endless bend. We move around the year as light moves through the standing stones at each appointed place. Each season is the light from a different view, but always the same circle, saving grace. The stone circle shows the year's own shape, the circle that no ending can escape. Stand inside a circle when you need to find the center of your spinning year. the equinox of what you do, and he, the solstice of your darkness and your clear. The stone circle teaches what the stars do too, that everything returns around its track, that what seems lost will come again as new, and what seems dark will turn to bring the back. The stone circle is the promise carved in stone, that the light always returns to where you've known. The salt workers were the most patient people. They made their harvest from the summer sun. No sword could serve their purpose, and no steeple of ambition, only time undone. They cut the shallow pools along the shore, and let the sun and wine do all the work. They waited weeks for what the sea gave more than any raid could find through all the murk. The salt harvest grows through pure waiting alone, the patient art of what the sun has sown. The crystals formed in patterns on the pan, each one a perfect architecture small. The geometry of salt before the span of human hand had swept it to the hall. Each crystal held the pattern of its growth, the octahedron of the halide form, a structure older than the Viking's oath, that predates every word and every norm. The salt crystal is perfect without hands. The world makes beauty when nothing commands. Salt preserved the fish that fed the winter, the meat that would have rotted by the freeze. Without it, every autumn was a splinter of anxiety about the winter's disease. The salt worker understood his craft was not the glamour of the battle's fame, but he who kept the salt supply intact was the reason that the warriors came back sane. The salt worker feeds the warriors winter. Without the salt, the hero starves in splinter. The salt trade brought the Norse to southern shores, not always for the raiding, but the brine. The great salt deposits and their stores were worth as much as silver shine. The merchants and the farmers both required the crystal that the sea and sun had made. And those who controlled the supply were hired with influence that outlasted any raid. The salt trade is the power behind the blade, the quiet commerce where the empires are made. Honor the patience of the salt workers still, the ones who wait for what the sun provides, who do not force the harvest with their will, but read the tide and wait for what abides. There is a wisdom in the salt pan's art, the knowledge that not everything is won by force and speed and the impatient heart, but by the willingness to wait the sun. The salt harvest teaches what the sword cannot, that patience crystallizes what force is not.
The valley between two cliffs would give back everything you called into its face, but never quite the same. The echo's track was altered by the valley's resonance. Well, when in sharp came back somehow more round. Well, when in angry came back nearly strong, as if the valley filtered out the sound of what was temporary in the song. The echo valley returns what is true, the essential underneath of you. The shamans used it for the purging rite. They would shout the worst of what they held into the valley's face, and in the night receive the essence back without the fell. The grief that went in raw came back as law. The rage that went in high came back as will. The fear that went in sharp came back a crawl, as caution wiser and more patient still. The echo valley purifies the void, listening to the valley's long and patient ear, the echo returning without a doubt, the secret in a voice both far and near, as if by giving secrets to the stone gave back the secret made more true. The shape of what you'd held so long alone, reflected back as something you now knew. The echo gives the secret back as true. The valley is the confessional of you. Generals would stand inside the veil. Before the councils there would choose the war. They'd speak their arguments into the gale, between the cliffs, and hear what they were for. If the echo made the case sound hollow, they knew the argument had something wrong. If the valley's return was full and followed, through the case was solid, clear and strong. The echo valley is the council's test. The valley's resonance confirms the best. Find your echo valley when you can, the place where your own voice comes back refined, where the essential truth of every plan strips away the decorations blind. It might be the still lake or the forest floor, the morning before the household wake, the moment at the sea cliff's patient shore, when nothing but the wave in your voice break. The echo valley lives inside the still, the place where your own truth returns at will. Seemed to fly above the charging line, its black wings spread against the sky and pinned itself to what the battle's gods divine. The women who had woven it at home had sewn their prayers into each crossing thread, the banner carrying every heart-side poem of those who waited for the living and the dead. The raven banner flies between two worlds, the home behind and the battle where it unfurls.
impossible calm, as if the woven raven had appeared to animate beyond the weaver's song. And when the battle's outcome was in doubt, the banner hung as heavy as defeat. The raven still and voiceless in the rout of wind that would not give it life to beat. The raven banner reads the battle's tide and shows the warriors what the gods decide. To carry it was the highest and the last of honors given to the bravest man. For the banner bearer never held fast a weapon, only the standard of the clan. He walked unarmed into the battle's face, protected only by the reverence that every warrior gave the banner's grace, and by the God's own fierce beneficence. The banner bearer fights with empty hands and trusts the raven's wings where no sword stands. Three banner bearers fell in one great array, and each time someone lifted what had dropped, the fourth man said, "No blade is what I trade for carrying the raven I have stopped." He tied the banner to his back instead, his sword returned to hand for the last charge. He said, "The raven rides above my head, and I serve Odin and the banner large." The fourth man carries raven and the blade, and serves both honor and survival's train. When the battle ended and the counting done, the banner was the first thing cleaned and kept. It was rolled and stored before the sun had set on all the ground where warriors slept. The women who had woven it would ask, when it returned, did the raven fly today? And those who'd seen it billow in the task of battle would confirm it flew, we say. The raven banner returns home like a soul to those whose prayers had made the banner whole. Below the surface where light fades, where cold becomes a pressure on the bone, Ran sits upon her throne of sea-grown shades, of coral built from centuries alone. Her net hangs wide across the ocean's face. She gathers what the surface cannot keep. The ships, the sailors, the misplaced, the ones who fell from deck into the deep, ran rules from the coral throne below, collecting what the ocean needs to know. She is not cruel in the way the storm is cruel. She is the sea's own logic, made complete. The ocean has its law, and she its tool. The one who brings the drifting to their seat. Those she catches are not prisoners kept, but guests inside the hall of drowned and still, where Aegir bruised the maid, and those who slept in her net find the table laid until Ram's net is not a trap, but a welcome home for those whom the sea chose not to let roam. We threw gold to Ram before we sailed, a bribe some said, but something older more, a recognition that if we were hailed by her net, we'd be guests and not ignored. Those found with gold when Ram drew in her catch were treated as the honored at her board, while those without the coin would merely match the unnamed dead who floated without word. The gold for Rad is the courtesy of the sea, the gift that marks you as her honored free. The coral throne grew one branch every year. Each storm that drove a ship below the tide added something to the structure clear of Ran's accumulated ocean pride. The throne was not of conquest but of time, the natural accrual of the sea's own business. Each branch a year, each color tells the rhyme of what the ocean took in its completeness. The coral throne is built from what the sea keeps, the residue of everything the ocean reaps. Fear Ran, but do not hate her for her work. She only takes what the sea decides. not make the storm or let it lurk. She only gathers what the tide provides. The ocean is indifferent and old. Ran is simply its housekeeping role. She keeps the deep world tidy in the cold, and treats each caught one as a valued soul. Ran takes only what the ocean gives, and honors every drowned soul that there lives. When grief was too enormous for the one who bore it to survive without the break, they brought it to her hall before the sun had finished with the night. For mercy's sake, she would sit across from those who came and open something in herself to take the weight they carried without taking blame or judging what the grief had come to make. The grief drinker absorbs what others spill and holds it in the vessel of her will. She did not tell them it would pass or ease. She did not say the gods had planned this out. She only sat with them in the cold freeze of what the loss had hollowed inside out. She let them speak the unspeakable aloud, the things that shamed them in the grief they felt, the rage, the guilt, the dark and nameless crowd of feelings grief had to the surface dealt. The grief drinker witnesses without the fix. She holds the space where pain and healing mix. The village wondered what she did with all the grief she had absorbed across the years, how she had not collapsed beneath the fall of every widow's and every mother's tears. She said, I do not hold it, I transform it, the way the earth transforms what falls to ground. The grief becomes the compost and the form of it is changed to something useful that is found. The grief drinker transforms what she receives into the wisdom that the village weaves. But even she had limits in the end. One winter when the losses came in waves, the plague that swept and would not stop or bend until it had filled half the cascades all at once. She let it come, she let it what it kept from coming through the discipline of months. The grief drinker herself must sometimes weep. Even the vessel needs to finally speak. She trained another in the final years, a young man with a specific kind of still. That grief requires the unhurried years, the body that can hold without the fill. She said, you must have grieved yourself to do this. You cannot hold what you have never known. The grief drinker's gift is not the bruise, but the surviving of their own alone. The grief drinker gives what they have lived through, their own survived grief made into something new.
Before the battle, the drum would start to speak. A single beat repeated, slow at first, too low for common ears, but not the weak knees of those who felt the coming worst. The drummer was the oldest in the band. Her hands had kept the rhythm 40 years. She read the battle's mood, and with her hand she shaped the pace that conquered every fear. The thunder drum is older than the sword. It is the heartbeat of the warrior's accord. She sped it when the line began to waver. The quickened beat, a hand that pushed from back. She slowed it when the charge needed to save her. The measured step that kept the line on track. The warriors said they did not hear the drum. They felt it in the sternum and the spine. It became the pulse below the body's numb, and pulled their feet along the battle line. The drum speaks to the body, not the mind. It moves the feet that fear has left behind. She had inherited it from her mother, who had received it from the one before. Each drummer teaching everything to other. The rhythms passed down through the generations' door. The drum skin stretched across the ancient frame had been replaced 12 times in years, but the frame itself remained the same old claim of the original wood from oldest fears. The drum outlasts the
the skin that stretches it, the frame survives what every battle hits. The enemy could hear it from their lines, and felt it in their own uncertain chests. The steady beat that carried all the signs of warriors who had passed the drum's own tests. A rhythm that did not accelerate, that held its tempo through the battle's turn, that neither slowed with doubt nor fast with hate, but kept the constant measure's patient burn. The enemy fears the drum that will not change. The steady beat is more than any strange. When she died, they placed the drum beside her on the pyre that took her to the gods above. But first they made a copy to provide her successor with the pattern of the love. The new drum carried the same frequency, the same dimensions and the same mode wood, the same resonance and the legacy of every battle where the drum had stood. The thunder drum is past, not given. Its rhythm lives in those who keep it driven.